It's like freaking 100%. Everyone's getting up there, man. You know it's so hype. Look at this scene here. Like ultimate all for one, 120%. You know, I just really love the scene that we see all the cats going back, right? All the different Nana and so on. And of course, finally, all Mug's in there. They're playing the soundtrack. You know she's gonna go down here. Then she finally smacks him, right? It's like one for all. Ultimate power up. All the quirks are there. It's just beautiful, man. This finally defeats Shigaraki. Oh man, this scene, it's beautiful. Like, it's finally, yes, Deku finally wins, right? But it's just, I like it too. I mean, it's like I keep saying. I mean, you start playing, everything is there. They're all watching it. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Yeah, it finally defeats him, man. Check it over. As a side note, I have to say though, I like how Mirio Senpai is running there on. Yeah, so it's a side note, he carries everyone. Like, he carries Mirio when other ones are on the side. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's like great detail here. Mirio is like running away with everyone from the fight. Deku snapped everyone, and since that point, it was an amazing episode. Jesus Christ, man. Deku goes 120%, right? He powers up. It was a great action scene. I teared up. It was really emotional when Deku was just like, everyone coming in. Obviously, you know, All Might is there, but the rest of you know, Nana, Grandma's there, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's coming up there. It was a really, really hype moment, guys. I loved it. It was very, it was emotional, you know. I was tearing up a bit. I was getting a little bit, you know, like, yeah, it was emotional. I felt it, especially that classic anime thing, right? You're talking about they sort of play the song, you know. So they didn't go for the first opening, which probably maybe would have been a bit of whatever. But they went with, of course, the classic "You Say You Run," right? The classic like soundtrack, like Deku's theme kind of thing going on, that feeling, right? And that also was very good, so it worked. But yeah, well, maybe they should have played, you know, the first opening, guys. What do you guys think? Maybe that would be better. That's example how do it in Black Clover, right? So they have the final moment with the demon in Black Clover, when Yami, Asta, and everyone's like at the same time, start playing, you know, the first opening. You're like, yeah. So maybe it should be like the first opening when it keeps coming running there. Maybe it would be better fit. But still, that kind of feeling, right? It's so anime. I love it. I love it. That's like the essential anime, right? We start playing like the first opening or the first like the main character's, you know, theme song and whatever. And then it's like powering up. That was shonen anime in a nutshell. It was emotional, man. I loved it. It was a great scene. It was a very, very good scene. But let's talk about the bad stuff then. That was the hype stuff, okay. The bad stuff, first of all, I have to say the middle here, because it's a review, right? And I say it every time, I want to be an honest reviewer, right? I hate people that are just whatever, like, I don't say the names here, but you know, I dislike some other people, right, that do their reviews. They're like, everything is best, everything is fine, everything is amazing. I hate that. But anyway, I digress then. So my point is that the main thing that I would say is a concern is, of course, the pacing, right, you know. It was like 5.5 minutes until the episode actually started. So I said earlier, right, when the snapping happened, the snafu happened, in this moment here, I was like, okay, yeah, now it's really good, right? That's kind of after Deku, of course, have landed. We recapped like every other character doing. We recapped him getting there. So it did feel like the anime didn't start until almost like 6-7 minutes into it. That happened also 2-3 weeks ago, and then we had a double delay now, right, with the Olympics. So I have to say, it did feel like from an actual production standpoint, so whatever you call it, the episode feels really off. Yeah, honestly, right? Like, it's a half an episode, basically. As almost. With everything else included, opening and ending and so on. And that has been an issue. Not that much this season, even though it definitely is happening. But it was, of course, a massive issue in Season 5. I keep referring to that. But obviously, Season 5 was just incredibly terrible, right? And I think, honestly, a lot of people, right, drop out this anime. This is Season 5. Yeah. Season 5 was just so bad, right? It was like worse than One Piece. It had like 7-8 minute recaps. It was like half the season had the insanely bad pacing. It was just crazy. This episode here, of course, used to be a downer. It was much better. It was much better, right? But it had that feeling of that, like, okay, you can honestly skip like the first like 8 or so minutes in the episode, and you completely fine right there, and that's not a good thing. So I have to address that. At least like last time it happened early season, because, you know, like I said, honest review, right? And it's unfortunate that they keep doing that, because it definitely does lower the overall quality, right? And I keep saying it really does remind me of One Piece, where it's like, well, this fight was really good. Don't get me wrong, I love this fight. I love the fight, love it, tearing up. It's amazing, right? the end of the episode, right? But obviously, again, similar to One Piece, recently had a Garp thing in One Piece, Garp and Kusan. It's like amazing when Garp gets there, Kusan gets there, and that fights over. But before that, it's like bad pace, right? It's slow pace, animation quality is down. Yeah, like very typical One Piece, right? Like half the episode is like terribly animated, and the other half is really good animated because like, the fight, right? So this felt very similar. We were like, okay, when does it actually start? A little bit. But anyway, let's go on. So one thing I was thinking about when I watched the episode, if you get the reaction, I do mention this more than once there, of course, is that maybe it would be better if Deku had been there when Bakugou got killed, right? And I said it earlier when it happened, that's also one reason why I didn't think he actually would die permanently, because I felt that I don't think the author is going to have like a death scene of Bakugou that he's not being there, right? And then he gets there later, and I have to have an issue with this scene, because I just felt it was really weirdly structured, because Deku gets there, right? And saves them from, whatever and so on, from Shigaraki. But the thing is that we as the viewer, we already know that Bakugou is fine, right? We know that he's like being healed or whatever. So Deku arrives, and it's all like this sad moment, like, oh no, my best friend is dying, no, Bakugou-san, and so on, right? And it's supposed to be a super sad scene that Bakugou is dying, or that Deku is like, finally learned his best friend rival died or whatever. But again, we, the viewer, know this is fake. We know it's a fake at that. We already learned that, right? I'm not saying because I'm not a manga reader, right? I'm just saying that because the way they structured these two episodes, we, the viewer of the anime, already learned that he was, saved basically, right? Maybe the manga is different, I don't know, but it felt like a really weird thing, because this whole like Deku snapping, Bakugou was dead, logically makes zero sense for us the viewer. I mean, obviously for him it makes sense because he's not the truth yet, but for us the viewer, it's kind of an empty emotion, because we know that, well, Deku is snapping, sure, and it makes it makes snaps, but we know that Bakugou's gonna be fine, so Deku won't actually, like snap, right? So I felt that was kind of strange, honestly. Yeah, I felt a little bit like, should it really be this order? So Deku finally goes 100,000, 11,000%, right? And as I said earlier, amazing scene. I like the whole build up with the Shoryuken bit, loving playing the music, right? So yeah, the whole end fight was just really, really good. But I also had this in, like, I don't know, but when I was watching it, I was saying, like, this should be the end, this should be the end of the episode, like the end of the anime. I don't know, you know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I don't know. This felt like he defeated Shigaraki here, and I have a very hard time seeing where it's gonna go now. So as I am only, I'm expecting that whole larva thing to spawn like another, one for all or something out of his brother, evil form or something. Yeah. Maybe this is actual death of Shigaraki, so to speak, and now it's gonna be another character coming out there. Yeah, it is felt really weird. Next episode, though, I guess gonna be about Spinner, right? And I've been waiting for that moment, because like that poor guy's been in the background for so long, and it does feel like everyone in the evil team has like another quirk or something in underneath them. They'll go some kind of like monster or super quirk they can trigger or something. So maybe Toga will do the same thing. Dami is doing it right. Wouldn't surprise that Toga also has some other power now. It's like everyone has like a bomb beside of them to transform into a monster. You know what? It doesn't mind me Bleach a lot, honestly, this ending here, right? Because he gets hit, he gets a hole in his stomach, and he's like, Bankai! Yeah, he's like, well, he's gonna go Bankai, right? He's gonna go Bankai. He's like, well, cool, I'll turn into a Bankai now. Yeah, it's like, oh, the power! It's gonna be something coming out of him, yeah. At least, instead of dying, it's just a power-up, yeah. So this is another power-up. It's like, I see, of course. Of course, man. It's another power-up! Certainly. But actually, I kind of hope that, what I'm hoping here now, is that they finish off the other side fights, okay? I would love if they just finish off the Toga, the Spinner, and so on, honestly. And then we can focus on the last two, the prime bad guys, right? Yeah, I think that that's a little bit of the recap issue talked about earlier, is that the enemy keeps like jumping around, it keeps jumping to like these 5-6 different other side fights, right? And when Darby is alive again, I was like, honestly, right? Because I was like, oh, come on, finish it off. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get the Spinner bit, and we see this backstories, whatever that thing, and then we keep going, right? And like that's the actual end of Spinner, and then I hope we can have the rest of the season now then. Not that many episodes left, I suppose, right? Before it's over. So I hope we can finish off all the side characters, honestly, in the last bits here. And then we go back to this thing probably in the end of it. That would make the most sense to me. Certainly, right? But yeah, what do you guys think? I thought this should be the end of Shigaraki. Honestly, this could have been at the end of the last fight. I mean, like, this could have been the end of the anime. That's what I meant earlier, right? Yeah, this in a way, this could have been the last episode, right? Like Shigaraki dies here, it's over. And obviously I know that Endeavor is fighting with, you know, Super One evil dude has been Messiah powered up now. I know that obviously. My point is that that fight could have also been over before that, right? So we have the Endeavor fight against, you know, Messiah Quirk now then, yeah. And they're fighting over there, right? And what if that fight was over, so to speak, right? Like, all my gets there, I don't know, the other heroes gets there, right? Endeavor gets backed up by, you know, a bunch of the other superheroes. His wife I don't know, his wife helps him out by calling him down, I don't know. A bunch of other adults appear there, and they all defeat, you know, the one big evil baddie, right? And then we have this scene here, when Deku is like, he finally defeats Shigaraki with like 120%, using all the quirk. It's like going Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct at the same time, kind of thing. Bam, 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 everything happens. Like, it's like Gear 6 for there, yeah. Everything happens, bam, Shigaraki's dead. He knocks out, and Deku finally wins. Honestly, I think this could have been the last episode in the anime, in a sense. Like, this is finally defeats Shigaraki here. And Shigaraki seems to actually lose, right? But then he gets a new power-up, or someone else takes over his body, right? Obviously then, All for One takes over his body, right? So it does feel this could be the last episode, honestly. I don't know, it just feels weird to me in a sense. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below. But I guess you guys have a great day.